Hey, what's up, guys? So, I just had a crazy thought. I just finished watching a documentary on, let's call it the events of August 6th, 1945, before YouTube goes crazy and does something to this video. So, um, it got me thinking, you know how people just start saying stories about them hearing things, seeing ghosts, or whatever. Well, unfortunately, I have yet to experience something like that. Something that I can't explain, seeing something that I can't explain, just experiencing stuff like that in general. So when I hear a story of a haunted place, do I believe in it? Well, I believe in it more than I don't, and I will really try to explain as clearly as I can. Well, you guys know that I have my certain degree of spiritual thing going on. Like, I cannot identify with any religion, but it doesn't mean that I don't have my feelings, thoughts, opinions on, there being a higher entity out there that watches over us and whatever you want to call it. Well, when I hear stories of haunted places, I'm like, it makes sense because think about it. Just what happens to you when your body ceases to function? How does your mind get placed in your brain? What is the manifestation of your thoughts? Where does that come from? Where does creativity come from? Where does imagination come from? Stuff that you cannot see, weigh, measure, hold, touch, smell. Where does that stuff come from? So that's what leads me to believe that we live in a certain type of level. There's the physical level, and then there's the realm that we don't understand because we do not presently inhabit it. But I do believe that when before you are born and after you have lived your life, somehow you transition between the world of the living into that other world, which is the stuff that we cannot see. Let's call it the stuff that's superior to our senses from when we're alive. So, because I believe in that, I want to believe in these stories of haunted places because what can I say? At least in this country, in the United States, there has been a lot of bloodshed. There has been a lot of violence. There has been a lot of negative things that have happened throughout history. What's to say that those matters from centuries ago have not been resolved? I feel like when something traumatic happens in the environment, like the environment doesn't forget, you know? So I guess it takes a special kind of talent or gift to be in touch with that realm that I'm trying to describe. But who am I to say that ghosts aren't real? That spirits that do not um, transition into the next step in life after you physically perish. Who am I to say that such a thing doesn't exist? So for me, anybody who shares a story like this, I will feel inclined to believe them until I can prove that what they're saying is not true. So to give a more exact answer, yes, I believe in that stuff, but I will always have my questions and my eyebrows will raise no matter what because it's something that I don't see, nor hear, nor encounter for myself. So it's very easy for me to be on the little skeptical side. But if someone, especially if it were coming from someone who I trust, if someone tells me that thing, I will believe it. My mom has shared stories of objects just moving for no reason. And she's my mom. I don't know her for being a liar. So, of course, I'm going to believe her. You know, it's a very respectable and reliable source for me. So, just because I haven't lived in one of those houses, I guess, where stuff happens, who am I to say that that stuff is not real, you know? So, what makes me believe in this stuff too is the fact that, like I said, in the same manner that I cannot prove that once you physically cease to function, that's the that's it, that's the end of life, is the same manner that I cannot be saying, it's not real. Like there's no such thing as a spirit or something, or a ghost, a trapped soul, or something, whatever they call it. So, in conclusion, I want to say that if the way that things occurred in the current space that you inhabit, if it was very traumatic and violent, I do think that that stuff will remain in the air somehow. Um, so it would take, I'm not even sure if enough time can pass for that trauma to just go away, like, will the environment ever forget? I don't think that's possible. But at the same time, say that every single square inch of the planet had something bad happen in it. Eventually, the whole world is going to be a place where we're going to have wandering souls and everything. So, where are we going to be able to live peacefully without disturbing stuff happening, or without us disturbing spirits that may linger around? It's kind of weird, man. It's something that the more I think about it and the more I try to discuss it, like new possibilities and new questions arise for me. So this is, yeah, it's interesting. I could keep going with this one, but at any rate, I think that if you are an overall respectful person, like if you respect the fact that people have suffered and everything and you acknowledge it, you're in the right path in life. So just don't take your circumstances for granted. Just be grateful for what you have and everything, and do not try to summon those things to prove a point. Um, I would just stay away from that and respect it as much as possible. So yeah, guys, that pretty much sums up my opinion on this matter. What do you guys think? Have you had incidents that you just cannot explain, stuff freak you out in a place that you stayed at or lived at? Um, or do you think that none of this makes sense and those noises just have a explanation, but we just ain't finding it? So I don't know. Like I said, I wish I had a better input, but because it's something that I haven't gone through myself, I cannot sit here and tell you a story. But all I have is the stuff that people say to guide me through. So whatever. Um, with a ghost. Well, I can't say that I can relate to that, but anyways, I guess to each their own. but but yeah, I will need to meditate on this one a little further, but I highly doubt that I'll come up with something entirely new to add or something substantial. So yeah, I guess I'll end it right here. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you soon.